Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor, which is due unto Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders, a great, most honorable well. And Shalom to the Lord's elect, starting with 144,000. Okay, it's the brother Napash from the GMS UK camp. And, what I wanted to talk about was quick testimony. Now, yesterday, I went with my father. I took my father to, we went to like a wholesalers, okay? Call it cash and carry. And to buy some kind of emergency supplies, kind of stock up food, some dry goods, water, in like bulk, things like that, so that they can have it in the house. Him and my mother, they can have it in the house, and basically, if I'm not there, then I know that they got supplies, okay? Because we're in a time where it's good to be wise to just stock up a bit extra. You see what's going on geopolitically. The ramifications of the Strait of Hormuz ain't really being locked off and all that. And really, they're in control of these things. We're not really gonna feel that yet until we're feeling it a little bit, but the ramifications it's gonna go even higher as we approach more into the year. Okay, and pretty much. So we went to the cash and carry. Now, my mother told me this after the fact. Okay, but a lot of stuff like this does happen with myself. That's happened with her, so my family, and so this is one of the things I wanted to just speak on quickly, just a little point. But she told me this morning, I went yesterday with my father, I'm gonna tell you, she told me this morning that she'd been thinking for a while how when we get olives, we always get the medium-sized olives because it's £2 cheaper, but we used to get the extra large ones, okay? And she was thinking in her head, because she knew we were gonna go to the wholesaler. She was thinking, because she mentioned to me to buy olives. She told me the brand, but she didn't tell me the size. And in her head, she said she was thinking, maybe she was upset because when I left, she was like, maybe I should have told him to get the extra large ones. So when I went to the cash and carry, I went there, we bought some stuff or whatever, and then this wholesalers is a place my dad used to work briefly, so they kind of knew him. So, they were gonna help us out a little bit, give a bit of discount or whatever, and then, which they did, What ended up happening is I ended up getting the extra large olives, and they ended up being free. The guy didn't even write them up. So, I was talking to my mother about it in the morning, how she prayed and she desired, she was thinking about it and her desires, and she's always praying and things like that. And she just mentioned that she said to me, because she believes in she believes in the Most High. Okay, I've told her the name and things like that. She believes in the Most High, and she doesn't fully, grasp. She doesn't fully grasp what the truth is, but even though you tell them, but she does believe in a higher power, So she was saying to me, when you like sincerely want something and you need something, how God provides, right? I was telling her like, yeah, and I said, hey, more and more of that will be happening as things get, crazier in this society. And it got me thinking about all the times in the scriptures where the Lord provided. Okay, you had Elijah, and Elijah, You know, he got fed by ravens. Okay? And the angel actually baked a cake for him, you know? Some bread or some cake. And he woke up next to it. You know? You had, was it Daniel? Habakkuk and Daniel? The Lord actually had, I believe it was the prophet Habakkuk, got an angel to fly him over to where Daniel was to give him food. Okay? Or when we was in the wilderness and we were getting fed with the manna and the quails and the water out of the rock. You know, in times of need, the Lord has always helped, okay, through different miraculous ways. And it ain't going to be no different in this time that we're going into. You remember, in Daniel's 12th chapter, it says this is going to be a time like never before. So, things are going to get real crazy. So, how is the Lord, one of the ways that the Lord is going to magnify his name, okay, is through that great deliverance. Okay, you had it in Jeremiah the 16th chapter, where you had that great deliverance in Egypt. Well, this is going to be the deliverance that's going to eclipse that. Okay, the deliverance from Babylon, which is America. Okay, that's the main place of prophecy. You know, getting delivered from ultimately multiple nukes. Okay, hitting America and making that place a lake of fire. That's what's coming. Okay, and all the chaos, all Jacob's trouble, all the chaos that's going to be ensuing. You're going to have a Leviathan. You're going to have so many things going on, but the elect are going to be protected. The elect are going to be provided for. Right? Isaiah the 65th chapter tells you, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. So there's going to be people that are going to be hungry, that ain't going to be looked after, that are going to be starving to death from famine. Okay, what a way to go. All right, and then you're going to have those of us that are going to be the household of faith, the hopeful elect, that are going to be protected, okay, that are going to be eaten, that are going to be satisfied, all right, to get through that time. And you know, that's a beautiful thing, because without the Lord, man, there's no hope out here. Okay, it's just, you know, we're in hell, and this is the devil's playground, and all out chaos and mayhem and death and destruction and wickedness is about to happen. Okay, but ultimately, it's all the judgment of the Lord. You know, he's in control of all that. And, you know, the punishment of our people, okay, we've been going through it, and that's going to be that punishment, that those nukes, World War III, that's going to be that punishment before they come back in their right mind in the kingdom. But the elect are not going to be partakers of that. The elect are going to be protected in that time, okay, of that, you know, dishonorable death. Okay, because even if you get your head chopped off pursuant to Revelation the 20th chapter, that's still an honorable death. That's a, you know, you're going to meet the Lord. You're going to be with the Lord, man, when he returns. Okay, you're dying for the truth. That's a whole different, you know, basically keep your faith even unto death, and the Lord shall what? Give you a crown of life. Okay, so that's the time we're going into. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. You know, stocking up a little bit, and just meditating on how, as things get even worse, there's going to be more miraculous things that are going to happen, where our needs are and our desires, we're going to be looked after basically by the Lord, man. Okay. So, you know, just a quick testimony. Lord willing, was edifying. With that, man, I'm going to say shalom. You know, on to the next one. Shalom.